only a block for triangle if you like using a block for triangle. Everything else you're going to know as we go through, so I think you'll be just fine. So I'm just going to invite you to, oh, and while I think of it, we don't have class next week. So then the last class will be, what, the 26th or something like that. So I thought I would announce that before I forget. So otherwise, just go ahead and find what is your comfortable position for your pranayama and take whatever movement you feel like your body needs, whether it's shrugging the shoulders or pulling the knees into the chest. Just switch the music here. And as you're doing that, just tune in to the sounds of your room, the temperature of your room. And I'm just going to invite you to, when you feel ready, to draw your conscious attention right to the space in between your eyebrows. Just as you're pausing there, see if you can allow the muscles of your eyes to let go. And draw your awareness, if you will, down to the notch in your throat. Let your chin soften to parallel if you're seated, otherwise just gently down toward the throat. And draw, if you're seated, draw your chin in slightly toward the throat, just until you feel a softness down the back of the neck. And then slowly bring your awareness down through the notch in the throat to the heart center. Just noticing how you feel. Were you rushed to get set up? Have you had a busy day? Are you feeling pretty calm? And just anything that no longer serves you for today, as you exhale, just allow that feeling to wash away from you. And just float your awareness down to your navel. And let's just start that diaphragmatic breath. So each time you exhale, just gently draw the navel in toward the spine. And as you inhale, just allow your belly to lift back out. Each time you exhale, just have that feeling of softening. Each time you inhale, just breathe in a sense of calm. And let's just invite our breath to deepen and move into Dirshwasam, the yogic 3-part breath. So if you let yourself have a nice slow exhalation, and on your next inhale, let that belly come out. Let it lift the breath into the rib cage and up and behind the collarbones. And as you exhale, once again, just softening all the way down until lastly you can feel your navel drawing in. Just notice how the breath is passing over the back of your throat. Go ahead and create your ujjayi breath, that ocean sound in the back of your throat. And just get the rhythm of your breath. And today, while we're doing our 3-part breath, I'm just going to invite you to use a mantra. So as you take your inhalation, just silently say to yourself, I am. And as you take your exhalation, at ease. So with the inhale, I am. And when you go to take your exhalations, at ease. And as you're doing your breath, you're literally bringing the body into a place of greater ease. You're moving in toward the more true center, but you're balancing the body. The next time that you take an exhalation, let go of the mantra. Continue with your 3-part breath. And we're going to move into Nadi Shodhana. So let yourself have a nice, slow exhale and just close off your right nostril with your right thumb and slowly inhale through your left nostril only. And at the end of those inhalations, just close off with your ring finger and slowly exhale out the right nostril. And when you're ready, just breathe back in through the right nostril, just at your rhythm of breath. Closing off when you're ready and allowing your exhalation to come back out that left, just completing your round. When you start up again this next time, see if you can feel the coolness in the back of the nasal passage with your inhales and that gentle pause of the breath. Same thing as you take that exhalation, maybe you'll notice the warmth of the breath toward the end of the nostril, but for sure you can notice just that gentle pause where you're not rushing the breath, you're not holding the breath, you're just noticing. Allow your elbow to just soften in toward the center of the body so that your shoulder can soften. See if you can keep the space in between your eyebrows soft. And take your time, and when you end up taking an exhalation out your left nostril, no rush, you're just going to float your hand down. When your hand gets down there, just let go of any control of your breath. Step back in that witnessing consciousness and just watch, feel. Notice any after effect of the pranayama. And just notice the breath and let that be your guide as we go through our practice today. So I'm going to invite those of you on your back, if you'll come up into a seated position and place your legs in whatever comfortable position for you. If you can be in Sukhasana and that's okay with your knees and everything, put yourself in Sukhasana. Otherwise, whatever your legs need to be in. I'm going to invite you just to bring your arms out to the side and set your middle fingertips on the floor. So the arms are extended and feel your chin soften in towards your throat. Take an exhale and draw your awareness down the spine to your tailbone and turn your palms up. And just inhale, lifting the arms straight up out of your shoulders without lifting the shoulders. Turn your palms out in the direction of your face and exhale and draw the elbows down and broaden through your chest. And then turn the palms toward one another and inhale and lift back up again. This time reach way up. Let your shoulders extend to the ears. Then turn your palms up and exhale. You're trying to keep your elbows and your wrists in line with one another. Broaden through the chest. Let your shoulder blades press in toward the heart center and lift back up. Now, as you exhale and come down this next time, when you're ready to inhale, reach your arms out in front of you and pull your belly in like a C shape and drop your chin. And then exhale, lift the arms up. And you're going to pause with the arms extended up again. Take a deep breath in. Exhale and bend your elbows. When you're ready to inhale, reach out. Let the breath fill the back body. When you're ready to exhale, lift the arms back up again. We're going to do one more like that. Exhaling the elbows down. Take your time. When you're ready to inhale, reach out. We're going to exhale and lift the arms up when you're ready, and then float your arms down until your middle fingertips once again are touching the mat. We're going to work on our lateral stretches very mindfully. So I'm going to ask you to take an exhalation and then inhale, lift your right arm straight up. And then exhale and lean to the left, keeping the shoulders stacked. Let your head turn down toward the mat. Inhale that arm back up, stacking the shoulders, and then exhale the hand down to the floor. Once you're ready, you'll inhale the left arm up. Notice a gentle pause of your breath. You'll exhale over to the right. When you're ready, noticing the gentle pause of that breath, head turns down toward the mat. And then you'll inhale back up, gentle pause, and float the hand back down with your exhale. You're going to move from side to side like that. See if you can feel each part of that movement. If you can't lift your shoulder, you can place your hand on your shoulder and maybe just lean and lift the elbow, or you can leave your hand down by your side as well. So do whatever you need. There's always a modification. I want to invite you, when you end up leaning over to your right side the next time. So you lean over, you take your exhalation, and you lift your arm back up. Then bring both arms up. So take your time wherever you are. And once you bring both arms up, you're going to bring them over your legs. If you can squeeze the legs in for Sukhasana, where the ankles are underneath your knees, go ahead and do that so you'll get more of a stretch in the outer hip. I'm going to invite you to keep your chest lifted. And some of you might have to adjust your position of your legs because of your knees or your hips. But if we're in Sukhasana, we get this extra stretch across the sacrum and the hips for those who can tolerate it. Now, as you're breathing here and you're hollowing out that space between the pubic bone and the navel, you can begin to sink a little deeper, maybe, maybe not. Maybe the elbows bend and you place them down on the mat. Maybe you walk the hands out further. Maybe your head drops down toward the mat. Let your body guide you. Let your breath guide you. Hollowing out that space in between the pubic bone and the navel. Feel the breath lift right up through the back body as you take that inhale. And then just feel yourself release. And just once again, as you're inhaling, just say, I am. And as you exhale, at ease. After you take your next exhalation, just lift your chest, slide yourself back where your shoulders are stacked, the arms are out, middle fingertips touch the floor, chin is parallel, eyes are closed. All right, so we're going to open our eyes. We're going to come to standing with our feet wide apart. And once you get to standing with your feet apart, just place your hands on your knees. Your toes are turned out. We're going to exhale and lunge to one side. You don't want your knees to go way over your toes, so just have a wide enough stance, and then lunge to the other. See if you can take an exhale to one side, and an inhale to the other. So our focus here is on the inner thighs. Now you can drop parallel to the floor, and of course you can drop to the hands on the floor. So slow down and make one, try to get your leg as straight as you can as you're lunging from one side to the other. Some of you might have the flexibility as you lunge to the right, for example, that your left leg is straight and you take your toes up off the floor and flex your foot, and then you move to the other side. So just be in it, whatever it is for you. We're going to be going through the Warrior series, a few of those, and you can work through those with your own rhythm of breath. Always remember when we're lunging to pivot on both of your heels so you don't rotate from your knee. So we're going to come to the center. We'll make our stance maybe a little shorter and then squat down. Maybe the fingertips will touch. Bring your hands to your heart. Push through your heels and inhale and lift. Now, as we exhale, we're going to draw the elbows down just like we did seated. As we inhale, we'll reach out and pull the belly in and broaden through the back. Now come over to the left, pivot on your feet and reach your right arm out left behind you. And then come back to the center when you're ready. And then take your time to pivot to the other side, reaching down the left side of the back. You're going to come back on up and exhale down to the floor. You'll inhale, pushing through the heels back up. Open the hands, bend the elbows when you're ready. Now as you inhale, fill the back body with your breath. Exhaling to the left when you're ready. Let your inhale come back to the center and your exhale will pivot you to the other side. So just find your rhythm of breath. Really emphasizing those heels when we squat down and push up. So we work through the glutes. This is good on our balance. It's good for strengthening the legs and working through the back. Going to do one more set. And take your time. When you find yourself lunging over to the left and you come back to the center, just step your legs together and find your Uttanasana. So check that your feet are hip bone distance apart. Close your eyes, roll your shoulders back, turn your palms out. Feel the energy in the body. Now we're just going to open our eyes and we're going to step our feet wide apart. Now this is where you're going to want your block around if you're going to use a block for your triangle. We're going to take our right foot parallel and turn our left in. This is going to be the foundation for the asanas we're about to do. So take that left heel and line it up with the arch, coming into Viratu. So remember, we don't want that knee to go past your ankle. If you feel you want to bend and straighten a couple times, go right ahead. I'd like you to take your right hand and place it on your low back to keep your right shoulder in line with your right hip. So you've got your left knee bent now. Make sure that you can see your big toe. Soften your toes and lift your left arm up. So this right hand at our low back is keeping our shoulder back so it doesn't turn in the direction of our front leg. Now, see if you can extend your right arm. And if for any reason it's too much to extend the arms, you can keep your hands at your waist. If you can, you're softly gazing over the left fingertips. Feel that feeling of ease through your upper body. A soft gaze over the middle fingertip, soft shoulders, but yet your inner thighs are drawing toward one another. You have really active muscles in the legs. And as we go through this, please, if you need a break, just listen to your body. You can always straighten your leg and come back in. Now take another deep breath in, and as you exhale, straighten your leg and put your right hand on your low back again. We're coming into triangle. So you're going to reach over the front of your leg. Now remember, some of you, you're better off bending that front leg and just placing the hand on the knee or wherever you need. You're trying to stack your shoulders. So if bending the leg helps do that, then go ahead and do that. Some of you can have that leg straight. Now, if you're going to lift your arm up, look up and see if your arm is coming straight up out of your shoulder as best you can. If it's falling behind you or in front of you, you want it to try to be straight up out of the shoulder, or you can keep it right at your low back. Let your head softly turn toward the floor, but don't let your head drop. It's an extension of the spine. It's just turned to relax the neck. Unless you find that is not relaxing to your neck, and then find what is. As you exhale, feel your belly draw in. You have this slight rotation of your upper body. Nice, strong legs. We're going to take one more deep breath in, and as we exhale, we're bending that front knee. We're coming back into Vera 2 position of the legs. We're going to take our right hand to our back leg, and we're coming right into reverse warrior. You're going to look at your back, make sure that you're comfortable in your foundation. You're going to gaze back towards your back foot, still being aware of drawing your front knee towards your baby toe. Full breaths into this left rib cage here. Nice, strong legs, with a feeling of ease in the upper body. We're going to take one more deep breath in. As we go to exhale, we're just lifting out, straightening the legs, letting our arms come down, and we're going to rotate our feet to the other side. So if you used your block for triangle, we're going to bring it over to this right side. Take your time to find that foundation again. Take your left hand this time to the low back as you're bending. So obviously we're working through the strength of the legs. We're also stretching and releasing through the groins and the inner thighs. That left hand is keeping the shoulder back so we don't rotate the shoulders in the direction of the front leg. When you think you have your foundation and your knee is pulled back, lift your right arm up, palm up if you can, so that your shoulder will soften down. And then keep your left shoulder where it is, and lift the left arm up and see if they're at the same height. You don't want them above your shoulder height because it's going to hike your shoulders up. So let them drop softly, and then see if you can turn and gaze over your right middle finger. See if you can lift up on your toes and soften them. But yet you've got nice, strong legs, like your energy of your legs are drawing toward one another here. But your jaw is relaxed. The space in between your eyebrows is at ease. If you need to move out before I've said anything, listen to your body. Practicing a hymn sa. Take another deep breath in. We're going to exhale and straighten our leg and take our left hand to our waist as we come into triangle. So ease your way over your front leg and maybe start with the bent knee and see how that is. And let your hand come down. And once you feel like, and make sure you take the arch out of your low back. And once you feel like you've got your shoulders stacked, you can determine how much you can straighten your leg, if any. If it seems like your shoulders are pretty stacked and you want to lift that arm and it works for you to do that, go ahead. Soften your drishti. If it's comfortable to gaze down toward the floor, do that, or find what is. Be aware of your tailbone dropping down so you're not arching in the back. These are all balancing poses as well, so take another deep breath in. We're going to exhale and bend that leg, and we're going to lift up into reverse warrior. So take your time, reaching up and leaning over to the left, letting our drishti come toward that back foot yet, drawing our right knee toward our baby toe, the front bent knee. Good. Let the breath expand through this right side of the body. We're going to take one more deep breath in and we're going to exhale and straighten. So I'm going to invite you to walk your right foot over. We're going to find Virabhadrasana 1. So you're going to pick up your back heel, square off your hips, draw the arms back, and find Virabhadrasana 1. If you need to bend and straighten, make sure your knee doesn't go past your ankle. Hip bones are squared off now. Soften the shoulders away from the ears, or your hands can stay right at your waist. So in just a moment here, we're going to come down to the mat and we'll be setting our left knee on the floor and standing on that knee. So whatever way needs to get there, take a deep breath in. Those of you who can swan dive down, just come on down. Set your left knee down on the floor. Make sure you're right on top of your kneecap, not on the side. And then stand up and extend your right leg straight. Take your right hand to your waist or left hand's down on side of the body. We're going to inhale and lunge forward, lifting the chest, lifting the arm, and then exhale and straighten. So just move in and out. Every time we come forward and we lift that arm, we're stretching through the front quadricep, through the psoas muscles, up into the rib cage. So I'm going to invite you, when you come forward the next time, we're going to pause and hold there. Both arms if you can. Otherwise, you can keep your hand down on your knee if you need to. Keep a sense of ease through the space in between your eyebrows. We're going to take one more deep breath in, and then we'll exhale back and into downward dog. Or you can take a child's pose if you need a child's pose. Now this is our first down dog, so check that your feet are hip bone distance apart. Maybe your middle fingers are turning toward the corner of the mat to help your wrists. Depends on your body. Soften the shoulders away from your ears. Once you have that, inhale up onto the toes. And then as you exhale, bend one of your knees and let the other heel soften toward the floor. And then inhale up on the toes, really stretching through the feet, and bend the other knee and release the other heel down. So just moving from side to side, listening to your body. If you need to come down before I've said anything, please honor that. Now maybe you can come up on both of the ball mounts of your toes and then let your heels soften down. We're going to step back up to the top of the mat. So if you can bend your knees and step your right foot up and then your left, go ahead. Otherwise, whatever way gets you there until you find yourself in Uttanasana. Now you can have bent knees if you would like, or you can have a softness in the back of the knee and the legs as straight as you feel comfortable. We're going to have our elbows close into the body. We're going to push our feet into the floor, and we're going to inhale part way up, just enough to pull the shoulders down and away from the ears, and we're going to exhale back in. We're going to come all the way up, so push into the floor, extend the chest, activate your bandhas, and lift all the way back up, and lower your hands down to your heart center, your chin to your chest. Let your arms come down alongside your body and just turn your palms out and find your Tadasana. Just your eyes closed. Exhaling and softening all the way down through your feet. Lift up on the toes and set them back down. Now your body knows we're going to come back through that same routine until we're back on the other side of the mat. So if you'll open your eyes, we're going to step our left foot back and find Virabhadrasana 2 again. So nice wide stance, lifting the right arm up, lifting the left arm up, and gazing right over your right middle fingertips. And see if you need to move in it, whatever you do, what you need to do. Let your shoulders soften down. Notice the muscles of the legs gently drawing toward one another. Take another deep breath in. We're going to exhale, straighten that leg, bring our left hand to our waist. Inhale and move into triangle, just like we did before. Now the body's prepared. See what you might do this time. And again, knee bent is fine. You might get more out of your twist. Hand at the waist is fine. Where do you need your neck? Turning your drishti down to the floor or straight out? What is it for you? Take another deep breath in. As we exhale, we'll bend our leg. We're going to come into reverse warrior. So move nice and slow. Looking perhaps at the back foot, if that works for you. The right arm is as straight as you can get it. The breath is moving through the right rib cage area. We're going to take one more deep breath in, and as we exhale, we'll straighten our leg, let our hand come down, and turn to the other side. Find that alignment, get your foundation down, because without that, then we all ski-wampus. Find that the knee, the biggest thing is our foot might be off a little bit, or our toes kind of got, like right now, my toes are turned to the right. I need to put my heel out a little bit further. Once I have all that, then I can extend the arms and have a nice open chest, softly gazing over the left fingertips. And notice if you're really with your breath or as your mind kind of wanders somewhere. Be in the body, notice the fingertips, notice the toes, notice the inner thighs, space in between the eyebrows. We're going to take another deep breath in. As you go to exhale, straighten your leg. Let your right hand come back to your waist, or your low back, I should say, and inhale over for your triangle. Remember, knee bent is okay. If you could squish your shoulders in between a pane of glass, or your body in between a pane of glass, that's kind of what you're looking for here. Your head's an extension of your spine, but perhaps turned down towards your foot. Arm is straight. If it's falling back behind you, like if you look up and your hand's back behind you, see if you can bring it straight up out of your shoulder, or you can always bring it to your waist too. Drop that tailbone so that you don't arch through your low back. Take one more deep breath in. As you go to exhale, bend through the knee. Lift up into Virabhadrasana, reverse warrior. So the left arm is lifting, right hand's on the back leg, turning the head toward the back foot. Expanding the breath through the left rib cage. Take one more deep breath in. As you go to exhale, just straighten your leg. So we're going to turn to Vira 1 on this side. So we'll be pivoting now to our left. You have to kind of step up that back foot, walk your left one over, pick up your heel, and have those hip bones straight out now. Then lift the arms up and over your head. And our tendency with this one is sometimes to let the shoulders fall back and you kind of get pressure in the low back. So you want to drop your tailbone toward your front heel and let your shoulders move slightly forward so they're in line with your hip bones that are slightly forward. So we are going to come down and put our right knee on the floor. So whatever way gets you there. Take your time once you can have padding down there too, but set your knee down and maybe pick it up and set it down again. Just make sure you're right on top of the kneecap, not on the side, because it won't feel very comfortable. Take your left hand to your waist once you feel comfortable here, and inhale and lunge forward, lifting the right one. And once again, and move back out. Some people find this a very challenging balance and can't lift that one arm. So just please put both of your hands on your knee and just lift your chest. Or if you have something going on in your upper body, you can keep your hand on your knee and just work the lower body. When you come forward your next time, you're going to pause and bring both of your arms up if that's possible. Find that softness in the space in between your eyebrows. Take a deep breath in. As you go to exhale, come on down and back into downward facing dog. Tucking the toes under and stepping back. Check that your feet are hip bone distance apart. Soften the shoulders away from your ears. So we're going to be coming into pigeon. So those of you who know you need to do this on your back, please go ahead and bring yourself on your back. The rest of us are going to move in with the right leg forward. So if you lift your right leg from a one-legged down dog or drop your knees to the floor, whatever gets you there. So if you're on your back, your right ankle is going to be on your left knee, and then you'll bring your left knee into your chest. Otherwise, you're sinking that left leg straight behind you. Make sure that you've got your alignment. Check in with your body. Remember, you can always put a block under your hip or a blanket. If you can come down farther into the body and extend the arms, whatever it is for you, feel free to ease gently rocking from one side to the other, whether you're on your back or whether you're in a full pigeon, until you find the best place for you to get a release. I'm just going to invite you again while you're breathing here. If you can go back to your mantra as you inhale, I am, and as you exhale, at ease. And as always, if you need to move out before I've said anything, listen to your body. Always practice ahimsa, non-harm. Take one more nice full exhalation, and then we're just going to lift ourselves up. You can either tuck the toe under and lift the whole body and step back into down dog, or come to the knees. If you're on your back, if you would like to do another down dog, we're going to stay here for about 4 breaths. If you don't want to come back up into a down dog, you're certainly welcome to just bend and straighten the legs while waiting on your back. Just continuing the awareness of the connection to your breath. Soften the shoulders away from your ears. Feel free to take any movement your body might be desiring. Now we're going to move forward with our left leg. So you can drop the knees or come from a one-legged down dog, swinging that knee up and behind the wrist. On your back, you're going to take your left ankle on top of your right knee and draw the right knee in toward the chest. Take your time as you ease in. Feel free to rock from one side to the other. It's like you're making a relationship with the body versus pushing the body or trying to force it into anything. You're easing into the body with respect. Once you feel like you've found your spot, see if you can go back to breathing in, I am, and breathing out at ease, and just feel yourself let go. Think of letting go of anything that no longer serves you. You're going to take one more exhalation. When you're ready, bring yourself back up into your downward facing dog. Same thing for those of you on your back if you want to come back up. If not, you can wait there. Find a place where you can soften your shoulders away from your ears. You have a slight internal rotation of your legs. Your head is relaxed in between the arms. And you can feel the ball mount of your pointer finger and your thumb. And hopefully you can feel all of your fingers and thumbs gently pressing onto the mat. So from here, we're going to work our way onto our belly. So you can either come through plank or you can drop to your knees and move onto your belly. Otherwise, you can lower flat from plank and then move over. Once you get onto your belly, just check that your hips and your shoulders are in line. Bend your knees, if you will, please, and have your feet on the floor, hip bone distance apart. Let your arms come down alongside your body. And I'm just going to invite you to take an exhale and tilt your pelvis back slightly where you can feel a slight engagement of your core. Now inhale, push through your heels and lift your hips up. Lift up one vertebra at a time, as high up onto the shoulders as you're comfortable with. And then as you exhale, ribbon yourself back down. We're going to do that one more time. Pressing through the heels, ribbon up, and then come back down. So we're going to be doing that, and we're going to add our arms in a way that we're going to clasp our hands over our chest with our elbows bent. So they're not on our chest, but a few inches above our chest. Now tilt your pelvis back. Keep your hands in line with the chest here, okay? Not up by the throat or by your head. So they're over the chest. You're going to inhale, lift your hips up. Now, as you go to exhale, you're going to come down one vertebra at a time, but you're going to pull your hands up to the ceiling while you're separating the shoulder blades. You're coming down through the spine until your low back hits. Once your low back and sacrum are down, bend the elbows again. Walk your feet a little closer to your hips if you need to. Tilt your pelvis and inhale back up again. Just go up as high as you feel comfortable. As soon as you're ready to exhale, start pulling the hands toward the ceiling as you slowly come down. Your shoulder blades should start separating. You don't want the hands over the head because you won't be able to separate the shoulder blades. Pull your belly in, roll through the low back, and then soften again. I'm going to do 2 more like that. When you finish your second one, just bring your hands down alongside your body. Make sure that you readjust your feet and come on back up with your arms down alongside your body into your bridge pose. And pause there, gently pressing through the heels. Chest is open. Now, when you're ready to take an exhalation, just ribbon back down, one vertebra at a time. Excuse me, bring your knees right into your chest. Good. We're going to take our arms out like a T shape. And we'll take a deep breath in and let's just exhale over to the left as we turn our head to the right. And then we're going to inhale to the center and just notice that gentle pause of our breath. When we're ready to exhale, we're going to go to the other side and turn our head in that direction. Or in the opposite direction of the knees, I should say. Each time you come back to that center, just notice that gentle pause. And exhale again. When you find yourself lowering your legs over to the left the next time, I'm going to invite you to let the legs rest all the way down onto the mat or a blanket or a block if that's what you're using. Some way that you can just completely soften. So for some of you, having a T shape is too much of a stretch across the chest or the shoulder. If that's the case, just bring your arm down alongside your body, your right arm in this case, or right on top of your belly if you need to really take a lot of that out. Otherwise, you have a nice open heart center. Pick up your head and find a place that's comfortable for you. And then as you exhale, invite you to be aware from your hip all the way down through your knee, your ankle, and your feet. Notice if you're gripping or if you can completely find a place of ease. As you exhale, just notice how the belly is drawing in. And as you inhale, let your awareness come from the belly up to the heart center. And as you exhale, just feel the belly draw back in. Just releasing all through the hip, through the spine, and working the visceral body here in this twist. And of course, across the pectoral muscles. We're going to take another deep breath in, and when you're ready to exhale, pull the belly in. You're going to pause at the center. Bring your hands to your knees, and as you exhale, pull the knees to the chest and inhale and let the knees float away for Apanasana. Activating that core as you pull in and softly releasing as you let go. Now, when you bring your knees in the next time, you're going to pause with the knees into your chest, let your arms come back into that T shape, and then exhale when you're ready to the right. And same thing, once the legs get over there, check in. Oftentimes we can be, first of all, I want you to check in whether the twist is too much. So bringing your hand down by your side or bringing that left hand onto the belly. Then check in and notice. Sometimes we can be holding our feet up off the floor and we don't even notice it. So really check from the hip through the knees, the ankles to the toes, that you're not holding any gripping there. And then pick up your head and find a place where you're relaxed within the neck and the shoulders. then be aware of the exhale drawing in toward the spine. Inhale your awareness up to the heart center. Exhale back in toward the spine. This is very yin. Whenever we're holding these twists, the body, we're allowing the body to open. So for some people, it might feel like, well, what are we doing here? I'm just laying here. No, you literally are allowing the body to open. I'm going to take another deep breath in. As we go to exhale, activate the core. Come on back. Place the hands on the kneecaps and just exhale and draw the knees in. And inhale and push the legs away. I'm going to invite you to decide how you would like to finish your practice. If you want to move into happy baby pose, if you just want to hold on to one knee and extend the other leg straight out, or stirrup pose where it's a one-legged down dog or one-legged happy baby, whatever it is for you. There is no right or wrong. I just ask that you keep yourself in a place of ease because we're moving towards Shavasana now. And we'll be settling ourselves in. I have to manually shut off my light because my remote isn't working. So I really invite you to take your time. But when you are ready to extend out, see if you need something over you or under your legs or your head so that you can really find that place of ease. And once you get settled there, I'm going to invite you to inhale up to the crown of your head and exhale down to your feet. And this time as you inhale up, once again, just say to yourself, I am. And as you exhale, at ease. Even if, when we say a mantra over and over, even if we aren't feeling it at first, we start to resonate with that thought. The body starts accepting it. And know that there's nothing to accomplish, just to be. And when you take your next exhalation, just let go of any control of your breath. Let go of the mantra and just witness the wave-like effect of your breath as it gently rolls into the body and it just very gently rolls back out. Know that with each breath that rolls out, you're moving toward your true self. You're moving away from the chatter of the mind and into that state of our true self. So each time you take that exhalation, there is a feeling of greater ease. Let yourself just soften into your mat. Allow your awareness just to float up to the space in between your eyebrows. Once again, just feeling that area soften and broaden, even allowing the muscles of the eyes to let go. Floating the awareness down to the notch in the throat, And as we pause there, we can allow our teeth to separate and the tongue to gently move away from the roof of the mouth. Floating our awareness out to the tops of the shoulders and easing the shoulders back and down, noticing that we're completely supported and there's safety in just letting go. And next time that you follow an exhalation, let that soft ease run down the arms, through the elbows, the wrists, melting down through the palms of the hands and into each finger and thumb. Just letting go of the body completely and letting your awareness float in to the ease of each exhalation. And if you'll float your awareness up to the heart center and allow yourself to ride the wave of the inhalation, so that each time that inhalation comes in, imagine it coming through the heart center like warm, loving sunlight. Literally allowing every cell of the body to open and come into harmony. Just let yourself pause here and take in the peace that resides here. Always here, just waiting for you to pause. Nothing that you need to create. Just pause. I just invite you, as you're deepening your breath, know you can create your own mantra for this week if you would like. As you're just pausing there, if there's a word that you would like to say or use this week, let yourself feel the essence of the word and take a moment just to breathe it in. I'm going to share, as I have been, out of the Happy for No Reason book, because one of the happiness habits that they've found from the 100 people that they share stories with here, one of them is the happiness habit of making connection to your soul. Invite connection to your higher power, whatever that is to you. And here's what it says about this. We're swimming in a sea of beauty and mystery, yet we often don't take the time to stop doing and notice. Turning inward is one of the most powerful ways you can nurture a conscious connection to your soul. Even just 15 minutes a day can make a huge difference. Though meditating is relaxing and enjoyable, its greatest value comes from the influence it has on your life outside of meditation. They've done many studies on meditation as far as physiologically reducing stress and anxiety and blood pressure and all of that. But meditating does much more than just help you cope with stress. Some of the most exciting research being done today shows that meditating puts you on the fast track of being happy by enhancing activity in the area of the brain associated with happiness and compassion. And I'll leave you with this. And keep in mind what we go through in Shavasana is like a mini meditation. That's what it is. This is a thought by Sri Ravi Shankar, a spiritual teacher and a humanitarian. Whether you are aware of them or not, whether you recognize them as spiritual or not, you probably have had the experience of silence or transcendence or the divine, a few seconds, a few minutes that seemed out of time, a moment when the ordinary looks beautiful, glowing, a deep sense of being at peace, feeling happy for no reason. When these experiences come, believe in them. They reflect your true nature. I love that. I know we all have, some of you have shared in your Shavasana experience, but looking at nature, looking at a sunset, or looking at a child that just radiates. We've all experienced those moments, and it's about taking them in. But meditation, I know for myself, it is a worthwhile adventure, even if it's just for a few minutes. Because as I've shared before, I never even wanted to meditate. I happened to be doing a training with a Swami, and he required me to meditate. And I'm so glad that I did, because it does create a more peaceful, trusting connection. So having things that bring you inward, whatever that is for you. So I invite those of you that want to come up into a centering position, bring yourself on up. Take a moment just to feel the shoulders stacked over the hips, the chin softened in toward the throat. And just take a nice slow exhalation and notice how you feel physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. And then if you would, let's inhale and bring those arms back up into that Anjali Mudra. We'll lower down to our forehead to remind us of mindful thoughts, at our mouth for mindful words, and our heart center for mindful actions. And namaste, everybody. Thank you, thank you, thank you, as always, for being here.